just came from Maiduguri, a beautiful city, classical city. In terms of history, Maiduguri's history is that it comes from an empire. So Islam has been there. So if some crazy, extremist, fanatic, filthy-minded criminals, but they our sons and daughters, if they can flip like that in a country that comes from an empire and wreak the havoc that they did and throw the whole country out of whack for how many years? How many billions of dollars? How much destruction they was able to do? These are sons and daughters of Muslims. Some people say they wasn't Muslims, but Allahu A'lam about that. Maybe they wasn't acting like they was Muslims, but they were sons and daughters of Muslims. They was claiming to be anyway. The point is here is that something happened. There was a vacuum that created that. And I'm not being political here. I'm just talking moral. I'm talking ethical. I'm talking ideological, of which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do. The destruction that's happening by the fanatics that go off on that end is blatant. That 80%, unfortunately, they're angry from the time they're 12 years old. So you can imagine what kind of a devil, what kind of a monster they become by the time that they're 18 years old, and some crazy group come along and tell them that, look, we can take all of this here. We don't want that to happen again. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only cause those kind of fanatics to be extinguished, but may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cause us to bury their ashes so that even their residue is in the ground. So I'm talking about one end of the spectrum now. But the ones that go off on the right end, it's so gradual that we don't even talk about it because it penetrates the hearts and the minds. They just become conservative until the deen don't even really have no effect on them. They Muslims, they dress them with all the stuff. They go to Jummah on Friday, they fast in the month of Ramadan, but they're not active. They don't do no dawah. They don't even want to be inconvenienced. They got their schedule set for themselves. They got their calendar set for themselves. They got their trajectory set. Girls know who they want to marry. Young guys want to know who they want to marry. They know where they want to live at. They all hooked up. They got their dream, their scheme, and all that there. But guess what? They are disconnected from Islamic activism. Now, that's one form of extremism that we have to address because it's like, it's silent. It's done by stealth. And that's the way it's set up by Shaitan and his allies. Shaitan and his allies is working while we sleeping. Shaitan and his allies, they working from the background. They can see when we ain't seeing them, they seeing us. And those who's really religious, those who's really educated, religious, he wants them to be really philosophical. He wants them to be really academic. He wants them to be really worldly. Why? Because soon they will become so worldly that they don't even pay attention. They're not intention with Islam on the ground. All they want to know is out of canon Islam. Once they think they're doing the out of canon Islam, khalas, finished, done. The rest of it is for me until they die. When they die, then they see it's not like that.